release my dog!
Military dogs, exceptionally brave, highly trained, doing the jobs humans can't, all to protect America. These men, women, and canines are about to face some of the toughest training the world has to offer. For the first time, Lackland Air Force Base opens its doors to their canine boot camp.
Hey!
More than ever before, America needs protection. And in recent months, security measures have dramatically increased in every city, airport, and major building in the USA. One of these protection teams is unique and trains down in South Texas at Lackland Air Force Base, a base known for its excellence, which trains all parts of our nation's forces: the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, and the Marines. Hundreds of recruits train here every week, but not all the recruits are human. The 341st Training Squadron is the top military working dog school, and in fact the only one of its kind in America. The training is intense. They must train to detect bombs and narcotics, to search buildings for dangerous suspects and criminals, maintain control during gunfire, and the most physical of all, aggression training. In fact, everything that they will need out in the real world is packed into 11 short weeks. Lackland has opened its gates to give an unprecedented look at life during training. We're going to follow 13 men and women and their dogs through this grueling canine course. With so much to learn in such a short time, there needs to be a lot of dedication. Their success will rely as much on their hard work as the partnerships that they will build with their dogs.
I've been waiting for this for a while now, so I finally got my chance, and so I'm gonna make the best of it.
This is what I wanted to do from day one, but I just didn't know when I was gonna get the opportunity.
I figured it would be like challenging to be a dog handler. Also, when I was younger, I was afraid of dogs, so it'd be a lot better to actually work with them.
I love being a cop, and this is just a better way of another tool to use when you're a cop and stuff like that. So it's good training, and hopefully it helped me out later in life too. So.
If you don't like getting close to dogs, this is not the course for you. The students need to have courage, be physically fit, patient, be able to work long hours in the heat of the Texas sun, and way into the mosquito-ridden nights.
You two are too close together.
So why do it?
Take 2 steps.
All of them want to work with these extraordinary dogs. Military working dogs are not pets and have been picked specifically for their high drive, tenacity, willingness to work, their loyalty and obedience, their keen senses, and their intelligence. The forces call them the bullets you can recall, and no other weapon can do that.
Good boy. Ready? Out!
The dog is, the best way I think you can put it, is the dog is a force multiplier. Much better than any other piece of an inanimate object or inanimate equipment that we could have. The dog makes one handler the equivalent sometimes of 2 people.
The military dogs are specifically picked for their drive and attack instincts.
The whole chase and bite thing, it goes back to their ancestors of being wolves. They have to chase their prey and find their prey. And that's what it all goes to. When they're chasing a man, it's just a big game to them. Gotta get the guy, gotta bite, and they like it.
Oh, no, release my dog!
A game for the dogs, but the students' careers depend on doing a good job. Even with the most highly trained dogs, the work here is inherently dangerous.
There are still a number of people today that are fearful of large dogs, and this is not a good job for that kind of a person.
Who's ever been bitten by a dog? Raise your hand. Have you been bitten or have you been nipped? Bitten, full-blown bitten, just mauled. All right, I'm going to tell you what right now. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You will get bitten sometime as a dog handler.
Tough reality on the first day, but there's no turning back. It's the first day, and the commander of the squadron pays a visit to the new students. They're keen to meet their canine colleagues, but first, the classroom, and lessons in the equipment and safety. What they're about to do is very dangerous.
Your commanders have sent you here for one reason, and that's to learn to become a dog handler. You're a critical resource when you get back. Make sure you take away as much as possible after your 11 weeks, because when you hit the ground running at your next installation, they're going to assume that you know what you're doing. Okay, good luck to y'all. Have a good course.
Okay, so now, Dick, how's your work? Through my experience, 95% of the dogs or the handlers that get bitten, it's handler fault. The handler steps on his foot, the dog bites him in the leg. Is it a bad dog? No. Dog's only means of defense is his mouth, right? He's not going to be able to look at you and say, hey, stop doing that. I don't like that. Don't do that no more. His only defense is his mouth.
The tedium of the classroom is over. It's time to train.
At no time will you run in the kennels. No horseplay. Do not speak or move in a threatening or suspicious manner around a dog. Anything real slow. Slow. Eye contact is aggression. Eye contact is aggression.
Safety is at the top of the agenda, so warnings have to be shouted out while walking around the kennels, and earplugs protect their ears from the 200 barking dogs. This may seem repetitive, but these rules are universal for all military dogs and establishments.
When you're taking that half step back, you're only doing it to get the dog started, to coax him.
The simplest of commands, even how to praise and talk to your dog, is important.
Good boy! Good boy! Good boy! Good boy!
Even if your dog happens to be a bucket.
Circle dog! Oh! Stay.
Training without the dogs helps the students to concentrate and learn quickly. All too soon, they'll have to deal with high-drive, aggressive military dogs. But for now, it's just Kitty, the obedient bucket.
Why do you keep switching hands? Hands should stay, leash should stay in your left hand the whole time. There's no reason to switch leashes or switch hands. It should stay in your left hand the whole entire time. SRT dog!
Sergeant Klein has been a handler for 4 years and instructor for 2, so it's easy for him.
Recall dog coming! Woo! You guys forget that one? Recall dog. Command. Anytime we say command, the dog is doing something. Anytime I tell you to move, you are moving.
Bucket training continued till everyone had it right. But finally, the day has arrived when the students get assigned their dogs.
They get introduced to their dogs, and that can kind of be a pretty interesting day. They're full of anxiety. They want the biggest and the baddest dog they can, and sometimes they may get one bigger and badder than they imagined, and then they say, well, maybe I didn't want the biggest and the baddest.
It's not just the handlers who are anxious. The dogs are excited too.
Safety. It's the very first day with your dogs.
Staff Sergeant Dean cannot emphasize enough that every care must be taken not to lose control.
First day with the dog, we don't want a loose dog running around. It could get real ugly.
Right here.
first to get assigned is Church, who is partnered with Chaos, a high-drive and trained dog that loves to bite. He'll spot a beginner when he sees one, and Church has only been in the military 9 months. This is the chance for the handlers to get to know their dogs and their characters, and for the dogs to get used to their new handlers. They're about to head off on their rapport walk. No commands or reprimands can be given today. It's all about building a bond. Most of the dogs are trained and will essentially be training these students. Others are green dogs and untrained and make even a walk tough on their handlers.
Good boy, Elvis. Good boy, good boy.
As a lot of these dogs have not been out for a while, they can overheat, so they're taken down to a creek to cool off.
This way, buddy. Bully. I just got Nando this morning. Nando's very, very high drive. I mean, you have red on your arm from just keeping them from trying to get at everything.
Let him go. He'll pull you right through.
Okay.
He'll pull you right through. Keep moving. Keep moving. Watch your collar. Watch your collar. Don't pull it off his head. Who's next?
While most of the dogs normally cool down immediately, others can be more prone to heat stroke, a serious condition that leads to brain damage if not treated immediately. Even though they've taken all the necessary precautions, Flick starts showing the classic symptoms of overheating. He's been in the creek for a while and is still unable to stand up by himself and really needs medical attention. He's rushed to the emergency vet clinic, and it's not looking good. Flick is overheated on the first day out on the rapport walk. He's in serious condition, and his handler Paul is obviously worried, but he's in excellent hands. The vet department at Lackland is probably the best place for dogs in the world. First, and most importantly, Flick is cooled down with air conditioning and ice packs, and fluids are given intravenously to help reduce the chance of irreparable brain damage.
The bag that I'm putting on there is just a standard pressure bag so that it will push the fluids into the vein faster, because as hot as he probably was when he was overheated, and as lethargic as he was being, as bad as he was feeling, we just want to get it in there as quickly as possible.
After several hours of treatment at Lackland's vet department, the team finally have Flick's condition under control. His temperature has returned to a normal 99 degrees, but he still needs monitoring. It'll be several weeks before he returns to work, and Paul is going to have to start again with a completely different dog. It's going to be a busy day at Lackland as more recruits arrive. More specifically, they're potential canine trainees. Over 1,000 dogs every year are sent here to see if they're good enough for the military. For dogs such as Dan and Tina, the next 2 weeks mean detailed behavioral and medical examinations. and they could even be eliminated on the very first day. Dan and Tina's first stop is the vet department. And having traveled all the way from the Czech Republic, they're understandably unsettled.
A lot of dogs just don't like having their legs played with, and so they'll act like it hurts even if it doesn't. I wasn't even touching you that time. She listed her birth date as the 30th of May of 2001, so she's just barely over our 1-year-old limit.
They've passed their medicals and will rest for the remainder of the day. But tomorrow, it's the behavior tests. First, Tina, who can't wait. It may look harsh, but in the field, these dogs will face threatening people. The tester never strikes the dog, but they must see how the dog reacts to aggressive situations and guns. Dan is tested to see if he reacts to the gunfire, and although he seems nervous, this is acceptable behavior. Tina passes too, and shows the same courage and drive. Detection tests are next. Although they will receive formal training if they pass, the examiners want to determine their natural ability and their willingness to work. Here, the results were mixed.
Well, Tina turned out to be an exceptional dog. Really great searcher and a lot of independent searching behavior, exactly what we're looking for in a dog. Now, Dan, on the other hand, he just didn't work out.
So Tina was conscripted. With dogs costing up to $6,000, the tests really do need to be thorough. In fact, out of every 10 dogs sent to Lackland to be tested, only 2 get through. Before she starts training, she gets her own personal number tattooed and is also spayed. It's 6 a.m. and the new recruits are up and training. It's a significant day. For the first time, they're giving commands to their dogs.
Right next to you is supposed to be the happy place, so make sure it is.
Down. Down.
They're just starting to learn. They just got off buckets, so they're recognizing now how hard it is. A bucket will do what you say and stay. Dogs always won't. So the dogs are pretty much getting used to their handlers, and the handlers are getting used to their dogs with just basic commands. Oh yeah, you get a lot of blank stares. What was I supposed to do? Even though you would think it, looking outside, you'd say, hey, it's pretty easy to remember. But when you get a dog in hand, leash, oh no, what am I supposed to do? But they get confused a lot. But as the weeks go on, it'll be like second nature to them.
Down.
Until then, just getting the dog's attention is tricky enough.
Stay.
Where's your hand command to sit? Remember, sit, and then go into escape. Sit. All right, remember, most of the green dogs do not know anything, so you got to help them out.
Stay. Good boy, good boy.
As a green dog, Elvis is doing well with Pankrats, and hopefully they'll keep heading in the right direction.
Stay. Stay. Stay.
This is simple compared to the true test of nerves in the next stage, aggression work. The dogs can't wait to move on. But are the students ready for 90 pounds of teeth and fur flying at them?
Okay, right now, let's get a handler, a dog, and a decoy. You guys are going to act as each.
As the nerves start building, doing a dry drill gives them a bit of confidence. It's as important for them to know how to entice and catch a dog as it is to release one. So Klein is the decoy, and to illustrate his point, Cornegay acts as the dog.
Side to side, quick side to side movements. Boom, boom, boom. See how I'm moving side to side? It's natural. It's more natural the way I'm moving. So I'm not doing the robot like this. I'm not doing this. Step, pivot, boom. The dog bites. Bite, dog. Good. I'm going to work. See, what am I doing here? Do you want to do that? No, at no point do you want to push a dog back. At some point you might need to ease your way in so you can keep the leash a little slack, and then you're just going to work him side to side.
This might seem funny, but they need to be prepared. If they're going to get bitten, this will be the day.
While you got a dog on the wrap, if all of a sudden, say, you got a soft wrap on and he bites through really hard and you got a lot of pain in there, raise your non-wrap hand to let the handler know that, hey, I don't feel comfortable, I'm feeling some pain or whatever. And handler, when you see that, when he raises his hand, that's your cue that, hey, the decoy's in distress, time to get the dog out of there.
Hey, just because the dog bites hard doesn't constitute you raising your hand, all right? If you feel as if they've broken skin or something like that, then raise your hand.
In real life, the dog is stopping suspects from escaping before the handler can take charge. But dog handlers need to be able to train on both sides and are now our suspects.
Work.
There you go. Keep working. Good, good, good. Handler need to come up and grab him.
First, the dog is on a leash. Then, as the tension builds, they have to run. There's nothing like a dog chasing you at full pelt, knowing that he's going to bite.
Halt, halt, halt! I release the dog! Get him, Rambo! Get him, Rambo!
It was excellent. Dog coming after me, adrenaline was pumping. I saw the dog out the corner of my eye, went to turn, and he was going behind me. And he bit on. My feet got tangled up. I tripped down on the ground, hurried up and get back up, remembered the training, grabbed on, started playing with the dog. It was excellent.
Everyone has to catch the dog, whatever your size.
Release some of the tension. Wind towards the tree. Wind towards the tree. There you go. All right.
Not bad, is it?
Good boy!
Scary. Stop staring at him.
It is kind of a relief to get it over with. My adrenaline was really, really going. My heart is pounding really fast right now, but it was fun. When we were doing the run, he almost took me down face first. So.
Most of the dogs know that the handlers are brand new, so as an instructor, we can walk over there if the dog's misbehaving and take the leash, and the dog's going to straighten right up, know what he's doing. Okay, it's an instructor, I better behave. So until they get their confidence levels, the dogs are just going to blow them off and not want to pay attention to them too much.
Everyone has had their turn being attacked. Some have done better than others.
I would say female Navy students are natural. It's really hard to say right now because their patience levels are getting tested, and that's your biggest thing in canine is you got to maintain your patience. It's hard to figure out right now who's going to make it and who's going to not be just as patient.
It's been a long, hot, grueling week, and there's still much more to learn. The team heads to a different area, how to search a building. This is vital on patrol duty when they'll need to find hidden suspects or missing people in a whole variety of places.
Anything else? How about if little Susie decided to run in here and we have to find her? We don't know where, like a lost kid.
Search right here.
Right. Right. These are all things that we can possibly do when we're in the field with our dogs. We reward them.
Throughout their training, the students are learning the importance of clear communication, and it's crucial that they also recognize the dog's reactions.
If you have a dog sitting in patrol and sitting in detection, how do you know if there's a bomb or a suspect? He's not going to tell you. I think it's a person. All right? They don't have the little dumb Acme signs that say he's in here.
Lessons from the classroom always seem simple. Applying them always difficult, especially when your dog isn't trained and as lost as you are. But the untrained dogs get special help with another dog of sorts.
Properly prepare your hot dog.
To help these green dogs, hot dogs are used. Eventually the hot dogs are phased out, and their reward comes from finding the person or object. Each dog is different.
I was gonna say.
And today, Elvis does well and goes for the wrap and not the hot dogs.
Some dogs care more. It depends on the drive of the dog. Most of the dogs have a high drive, so they want the bite more than they want the hot dog. Then you have some dogs that just don't care about the bite and just want the hot dog. So we'll find out today, and then we'll switch it up on them to see which way. Each dog is different, so we'll have to go with the dog, what the dog gives us.
When the dogs get into the building, they sniff the hot dogs by the door seam. The door pops open, and there's a decoy, and the dog gets a bite. The hot dogs are eventually taken away, but the dog will have to learn to sniff the door seam and smell for a decoy as he looks for his reward.
Fluffy and all. Iverson, we're going to do the chase away. Just play with him. He's taking it home. There you go. Bring him back.
Hey,
Alright, now we're going to door number 2. Okay?
It's like a big game, isn't it?
It's a great game. It's just fun. Yes, it's a big game. It's always fun for the dogs. It's a matter of like this seashell game where you put the marble underneath. Once the dogs figure out the game, okay, the marble's somewhere, we don't want them to start guessing. That's why we condition them to use their nose. Right? We always want them to, otherwise they'll go to door, scratching every door until it opens. So what we're doing is we keep on changing that marble in each of the shells, moving it around so they can never figure out the game. And then when they do figure out the game, we come out with something new.
It's Sammy's turn, a green dog who sometimes lacks drive.
Hey, you doing it better. Pop! Sammy comes out from nowhere and starts, and he's just flying through it. So, like I said, you never know. It depends on the dog. And Sammy, the one that loves the hot dogs, could care less about the hot dogs, wanted to bite more, which was very surprising. So, whew, doing good.
Week 3, and it's still hot, but the training must go on. Staff Sergeant Dean introduces scouting.
Heel. Good boy. Stay. Right. What we're doing here is we'll hide a bad guy out in the field, and then the dog is using his sense of smell, using his nose to find the guy out in the field.
The handler, Paul, works out which way the wind is blowing and starts patrolling from side to side downwind until the dog picks up the scent. Within 10 feet of the decoy, he'll let the dog go and he'll get a bite.
The bite is the reward for most dogs.
Scouting is fun for the dogs, but gunfire is another matter. Scouting is natural for the dogs, but getting used to gunfire needs training for the dogs and the handlers. Most dogs don't react, but with the green dogs, who knows what might happen.
He's supposedly gun shy. He's a handler aggressive on gunfire, so I got something to look forward to.
Rico is not the only dog to react to guns. The untrained green dogs don't know what to expect, but the handlers must learn how to control them.
They should be worried. A lot of those dogs are very aggressive, and it's their first time, so they have a right to be worried. I'd be worried.
Some of your dogs are overly aggressive during gunfire. Nando, overly aggressive during gunfire. Rico, aggressive during gunfire.
Initially, the gun is fired at 70 yards to get the dog used to the sound. Then the handler has to shoot the gun himself and still contain his dog, they hope.
Command is given with the hand command, not the physical correction.
Roger, sir. Stay.
The old dogs we had were taught to aggress during gunfire. Now we've changed that. Now the dogs must remain passive. A bark is acceptable. You really don't want to bark, but because that just leads to further things. But if a dog barks and he does not show outward aggression towards you, that is acceptable. First time we fire, we're not going to just come up, hey, bang, no. Distance. First we're going to start at initial distance for gunfire, 70 yards.
What are you guys supposed to do when you're ready?
Paul is already having trouble with Rico, and the gun hasn't even been fired.
No, sit. Sit. Stay. Sit. No, sit. 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 Stay.
Some dogs' natural reaction is to bark He appears to be aggressive, but he's by no means aggressive. He's just barking just to be barking. That's just one of his character features. He likes to bark a lot.
Now the handlers have to shoot the gun themselves. So far, Tico hasn't reacted. He's been trained before, but there are no guarantees for his handler, Cornegay.
All right, you're setting yourself up for a disadvantage.
Stay.
Reach over. Good boy.
Good boy.
No! Correct him.
Oh, sit.
Stay.
Stay.
Fire. Drop.
Out.
Sit. Bust him. Hey, you gotta get him. What happened was the dog showed aggression towards the gun, and it was basically after the handler reached down and slowly, kind of almost in a suspicious manner, to where the dog almost was enticed like it was a toy, like he was being teased with something. All right, take another half step forward.
All secure.
Good job. Go around.
Next up is Elvis,
He's just looking
who
at
can
it.
be
He wants
aggressive,
to see what it is.
but then he's still in training and has no history of being scared of guns. But Sergeant Klein is on hand to help if need be.
Good boy. Stay. No.
All right, hey, look. Come here, Elvis. Let him see.
All right.
Good boy. It's not gonna hurt you, buddy. It's not gonna hurt you. Come here. Oh, sit. Oh, sit. Good. Stay. Good job. Stay. Leave it. Leave it. Hey! Leave it. Good boy. Good boy.
Klein has been bitten by Elvis before, so he decides to distract him by walking and then shooting.
All right. He doesn't respond well to that, so we'll go with the walk and shoot. Good. Heel.
Elvis was a bit nervous when we got up here to the last one, but out there he was fine. He was a little bit nervous still. Overall, he did halfway decent.
Elvis will get extra training with blank bullets to help him get used to the gunfire. It's week 4, and there was a surprise progress test carried out that morning. Staff Sergeant Dean gives out the results.
As y'all know, we did a progress check this morning on a B course. Most of you guys did all right. Some of you guys, if it was certification, some of you guys would have failed. A couple of you guys did really well. Cornegay, you did a good job in there. Everything looked really well. Harmon, you did pretty good in there. All in all, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. There was only, like I said, there was only 2 guys that would have had trouble during certification. Any questions?
But training hasn't finished for the day. The group splits into 3. One to do building searches, another to scout, and the third, patrol aggression work with Sergeant Klein.
Stay.
Boy, come alive.
Now that they know how to catch a dog, the students need to learn how to stop their dog when attacking the decoy. In a real patrol situation with a suspect, the handler should be able to just shout, "Out!" and the dog should let go and sit. Nando has other things on his mind.
Keep pulling, keep pulling. Decoy, lock up.
He got away from me, but you know, if you use your voice control, then he'll come right back. So it was pretty cool. It was better than what I've done before, so.
Suddenly, training was interrupted. Sergeant Klein is called over to Cornegay. His dog Tico is very sick.
Hey, hold up, take him, hold up his back end like that. Get down, get on one knee. Hold him up. No, not like that. Not like that. Just hold him stable. Okay, all right? That's all I need. I need you to hold him still. Hold on to him. Hold on to him. Hey, he's got to go to the vet. He's at 109.8.
Unable to breathe properly, and with a very high temperature, Tico is in a very serious condition, and he must be rushed to the clinic as soon as possible. It's a race against time. Cornegay's dog Tico has fallen ill. His throat has partially collapsed, obstructing his breathing, and it's caused him to overheat. This is not anyone's fault, since Tico's throat has collapsed before. Every minute counts, as there's a great risk Tico will start hemorrhaging. First, they get some fluids into him and lower his body temperature. To give him more oxygen, Tico is anesthetized and put on a ventilator.
Tico had an incident similar to this once before, and they determined that he had a laryngeal paralysis, or partial laryngeal paralysis, and then it seemed to clear up after we had him on medication. So he was returned to duty, and now that it's happened again, there will be a further eval to see whether or not he'll be able to continue to work for us or not. Until you send the dog back to training, we can walk him all day long and he'll never show a problem.
Tico has had all the help he can get, and now Cornegay and Klein will just have to wait. After several hours of intensive care, Tico is checked by Lieutenant Colonel Gresham.
Well, I think he's a lot better, judging from the color of his tongue. He's not panting as hard. It's not as forceful trying to get the air in or out. I mean, right now he's just panting, which would be typical of just temperature, because his temperature is still about 103, 104 degrees. But now we've got nice pink color. The gums look good. He's got good, capillary refill, so he's got adequate circulation.
So for now, Tico is improving and will stay in the clinic to be monitored. However, there's some damage.
You said it appears he's blind? Really?
But with the heat stress and stuff like that. Right.
Due to the severity of the heat stroke, there was some hemorrhaging that affected Tico's eyes and made him blind. The blindness is possibly temporary, but this could be the end of Tico's military career. There's only 14 days to go before the students face the examiner, and San Antonio is hit by storms.
Some of the people who have lived in this area as long as 20, 25 years say they have never seen anything like this here, and we understand there may still be one person missing here this evening. Rescue crews are out looking for them, and we will keep you posted.
Over 40 inches of rain fell in just 8 days, stopping all training at Lackland. Finally, the storms end, and the floods subside. That's the only good news. The students are now behind in training by 6 days. The only option is to train both day and night to catch up.
If you're giving a physical correction, make sure you give a verbal correction at the same time.
Keep moving.
Now, with round-the-clock training, most of them seem to be on the right track.
Once we remind, oh yeah, okay, boom, they clicks right in, and I really don't think that they'll have a problem for certification. Team, attention.
The dark doesn't stop the more dangerous parts of the course. Hopefully, all of this effort will pay off in the exams. Back at the busy vet department, they're preparing for the 341st's latest arrivals. Mika is 6 years old, pregnant, and expecting puppies in about 2 weeks' time. Major Mann, head of radiology, is giving her an ultrasound to check the health of the puppies.
This is the spine and pelvis of a puppy. Amniotic fluid is out here. The other thing you can do is you can...
It's very difficult to say how many pups there are, but they hope there will be between 6 and 9. From now on, Mika will be in the specially built whelping kennels, being fed on a rich diet. What the staff are looking out for is a drop in her temperature from around 100 to 98 or 97. Within 24 hours of this drop, the puppies will arrive.
Oh, are you ready to get these puppies out of here? Oh, thank you.
Come on, give me a push. A push.
Only hours later, the puppies started arriving. The team are anxious to know just how many puppies there will be, and if it is such a large litter, will all of the puppies survive?
Come on, push.
Mika's puppies are on their way, but just how many are there going to be?
She's been in here pretty much so since, what, about 3:30, 4 o'clock? We've got 2 males and 1 little girl since the first one was born at 4:30.
The team is thrilled that all the puppies are healthy, weighing in between 9 and 13 ounces. So far there are 6, and there's still more on the way. Mika and the center's team worked around the clock, and the puppies kept coming.
Looking very good. You're breathing well. It means your lungs are clear.
Curtis, when you get done, you want to get a weight before I put her on? Yeah.
All right, that one's got a very good yelp. No, that's not a nipple. That's not a nipple.
Perfect.
12 hours later, the grand total, an amazing 15 puppies. Everyone is completely surprised. And to help Mika with such a large litter, the center's staff started some supplementary feeding. After 6 weeks, it's our students' patrol training exam, certification day. They're under the scrutiny of Tech Sergeant Pirolo, who will be watching every move and every command they make. The students desperately need everything to go right, since otherwise they won't get on to the next course, detection training.
Stay.
They're tested on each part of their course, in building searches, scouting, obedience, and gunfire. This is not the time for any dogs to misbehave or get aggressive. The results are about to be handed out.
Good job. Congratulations, you passed.
In fact, they did all pass, and will all now move on to Block 2, detection training. The dogs too are on the move. Elvis did get used to guns and was certified. He's even made it to the bomb detection training. Tico recovered completely and was retired from the military. He has since been adopted. Mika's puppies are now nearly 8 weeks old and will soon be fostered by local families for the next year. They'll then return to start their military careers. After 30 years working with these military dogs, and with the 341st Training Squadron, its students, instructors, and vet department, Lieutenant Colonel John Probst is about to step down.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today the men and women of the 341st Training Squadron say farewell to Lieutenant Colonel John W. Probst upon his departure as commander.
Relinquishing command should jerk hard at your heartstrings, should make you choke a little, and cause you to tear. If it doesn't, ladies and gentlemen, if it doesn't, you haven't done it right. Major Shadley, the 341st Training Squadron is in excellent health and now needs a new commander to take them to greater heights. You are that leader for the next 2 years. Relish the feeling. I am sure your team will flourish. After all, they are not only the largest dog school on earth, but they are the finest.
Major Frank Shadley takes over and starts his first tour with this unique squadron. And for our instructors, it's also a new start with another group of students.
It's always enjoyable to get rid of one class and pick up another because you get different personalities, different branches of service, different people. So it's always good to leave one and pick up another one.
There you go, good. Just walk naturally. Parade! Down. Rest!
So the course starts again with a group of complete beginners. But some of the dogs have been here before, and right now, they're back in charge.
2 hands on the leash. Let him go.
There's no break for our 13 students. It's straight into detection training, and Sergeant Russell has some of the trickiest lessons yet. There's no break at Lackland for our 13 trainee dog handlers. They're up at dawn and ready to tackle the next part of this tough canine course. The students are going to be working with completely new dogs that are different to the patrol ones. They're highly trained, and most have already been on active duty in our cities, military bases, and even the Air Force One fleet. To get to be this good, the dogs at Lackland have some of the hardest training. They start even as young as 18 months. First, in patrol work. Then they move to detection, which is probably the most important part. More than ever before, the military dogs are working 24/7, detecting drugs and explosives all over the world. The dogs can't do it alone. They need their handlers, and their training is just as crucial. These students have already passed the patrol section and now enter Block 2, Detection.
Well, the difference between Block 1 and Block 2, Block 1 we did all the aggression work and obedience and everything. Now here in Block 2, it's all detection, learning how to present where you want the dogs to smell, sniff, and search for drugs or bombs or whatever, and how to do it properly.
The students need to learn how to search car parks and airplanes, bedrooms, offices, and even warehouses. And also particular search patterns and how to motivate their dog.
Good boy.
But for today, they're just getting to know their canine partners. All of the dogs are trained, and all are drug-detecting dogs. There are two sets of detection dogs, one for explosives, the other for drugs. Training a dog in only one area eliminates any confusion for the handler in determining what the dog has found. The behavior is the same, Both dogs will stop, sit, and wait for a reward whenever they detect marijuana, heroin, or cocaine. Or if they're bomb dogs, an explosive. Knowing whether your dog is a narcotics or an explosives specialist means the difference between looking inside or running for your life. For this 5-week part of the course, our handlers will only work with drug dogs. Since the training for explosives is identical, the graduates will be proficient in both forms of detection. Week 1, Day 1 is the simplest of lessons, to find the drugs in one of 4 boxes.
Dog team coming in.
Straight to your corner.
Sergeant Russell, the course instructor, takes them through the very first steps in what to do, and importantly, how to motivate your dog.
Hold the leash in the left hand, make your presentation. Bam, throw the reward, run with them. Let them grab it up, play with it, show them that it's a game. This all has to be positive so everything rolls together. You have to make this dog want to work. Step off. Step
The
off.
first thing the handler has to learn is a search pattern and how to present the area to the dog. Getting the dog's interest is key, so there's always a reward.
Eddie is 10 years old, so he's been around a while, so he knows probably more than we'll ever know or ever seen. Yeah, he's really happy to work, which is good. Yeah.
Eddie will be teaching Harmon a thing or two. Cornegay is also with the trained dog, Tanja.
And she isn't going in the sit position, what do? Sit. What's the rest of the command? Sit. Good girl. There we go. You're gonna get crazy with her, right? The crazier you get, the more she thinks she did good. Sit. Stay. Good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. All right?
She's a pretty good dog. I mean, she ain't got no flaws in her. I mean, she can detect real good. I mean, it's me, I got to keep up with her. You know, I got to keep the pace up, you know.
So the dogs will find an odor to get their reward. This is usually a rubber toy called a Kong. Sometimes they just don't want to give it up.
It's no longer out. I've got this in my mouth, right? And you give me the command, out, I spin it. All of a sudden, I grab it up again. Am I wrong? No, I did what you told me. Out. The idea is to say, out, and then a second command, leave it. Now I know I want to, but I can't, because I've got another command directing me on what else to do.
Church is next with Valdo, a very different dog to his last one. Not only does he have to get used to this dog, but also he has a lot of technique to learn.
Remember, your fingertips go into the box, right? Your hand comes up, your fingertips go into the box.
This action will encourage the dog to sniff each box carefully, and the dog knows if he finds something, he'll get his toy.
Which will teach the dog to generally put his nose a little further down into the box, because he's like, oh, Dad just threw the Kong down inside the box. Okay? See, stay. Good boy, good boy. There you go. Good boy.
I think it's the better part of the course because it deals more with, you know, detection, finding the bombs, and that's basically what we need to concentrate on right now with the terrorist attacks. Valdo, he's a German Shepherd, obviously. He's about 9 years old. He's not low drive, but he's not extremely high drive, which is kind of a relaxed period from my last dog, Chaos. This dog's very playful, likes to be petted. And from what his records say, he's a very excellent dog. They say he's a 100% dog.
Come on, let's go see. Come on, let's go see.
Church has a long way to catch up with Valdo's 7 years in the military, and he has just 5 weeks to pass. Although these detection dogs are trained, some dogs are a little clumsier than others. But it's the students who have a long way to go before graduation. After training, Iverson has to take his canine partner, Rico, to the vet department. Last year, he had a very serious operation and needs a checkup. With over 500 dogs to keep in top condition, Lackland has probably the top dog hospital in the world, and it's ready at all times. With a team of 34 vets, surgeons, and radiologists, it has pioneered some radical treatment over the years. Rico's spinal implant is one of the most groundbreaking. But has it worked? Iverson and Rico have only just started training together, but are expected at the vet department for an assessment on Rico's back. With over $30,000 invested in each dog, the vet department is there to keep the dogs working as long as possible. So when a dog gets a lower back problem, like Rico, they pioneered an operation to fuse the lower spine and hopefully solve the problem. Colonel Carpenter explains what this incredible procedure involves.
The surgical approach here is right directly over the back of the dog, and what we do is we remove the bone that covers the spinal canal there, and then we place this apparatus, and what that does is stabilizes this joint in place so that motion will take place up further in the back.
The process is not finished till there's fusion across the joints. That's what they need to check today. The dog care at Lackland is so good, Rico is actually taken to a human hospital to use their CT scanner. He's medicated and wrapped up so that he's completely still and can be lined up with the laser beams. The images are processed next door and show the bones have fused well. Within minutes, Rico recovers and will be back at work the next day. The dog handlers are starting their training in the car parks, and Sergeant Russell explains some of the techniques.
What we're doing today's class, everything we're doing is inside of vehicle searches. Within the vehicle searches, what we teach the people to do is, as a handler, we want them to initially work their downwind. They just like in scouting problems, just like whenever they're looking for a person in the field, we want them to go to their downwind first. So whenever you see them, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to find their downwind.
But why is training important here? As Iverson reports to Sergeant Russell, he realizes that he may eventually be bomb detecting at the Pentagon, and they have 16 car parks.
It's going to put you back. You're going to bring them right back to your beginning of where you left off.
One of the top jobs for a military dog is at the Pentagon, headquarters for the Department of Defense. All the dogs here were trained at Lackland, and they have a huge responsibility.
We'll search anywhere from 400 to 500 vehicles a day. We're also responsible for any cargo that comes into the Pentagon. If it's going to be delivered and taken up inside, we'll search that. We also do the exterior and interior patrols.
Today we've got a ceremony. It's a tribute to Doc Cook, which was kind of the unofficial mayor of the Pentagon. Had worked here since 1941. So what we're going to do is do a sweep with our dogs, which is just pretty routine for us. We let our dogs go and just inspect everything that's coming in.
The center court is a massive 5-acre area, and every inch has to be searched, as well as nearly 9,000 cars, 5 floors, and 17.5 miles of corridor every day. Several hundred people are expected for the memorial service, and the VIPs are about to arrive. With such important guests expected, everything depends on the dog team being thorough, as the VIPs even include Colin Powell and Donald Rumsfeld.
We gathered together this morning to celebrate the life and service.
Top VIPs are all in a day's work for the Pentagon's dog team. But our handlers at Lackland are still struggling with the basics. All the way through the detection course, their training is as much like a real situation as possible. So the squadron has a specially set up car park, one of 4 areas they will eventually train in.
As soon as he does that, he's dragging, all of a sudden he stops and he's like, oh, lost it. The dog is looking because it's a game. That's what detection work is all about. You cannot take a dog and say, seek here because I said so. Look here. You look here. You do that and the dog's going to start shutting down on you and he will not work. So in turn, that's where you have to change it over to saying, you know, woohoo, what have I got here? And all of a sudden he's like, oh, you've got something for me. You've got something. And it turns into positive aspects.
It's Paul's first day, and he's unsure if Tomba has found something or is just dragging him around.
Right? Now which way is he dragging you though?
When Tomba finds some narcotics, he'll sit. It's a passive response, and he'll then want to get his reward.
Stay. Good boy,
Brace,
Good boy. Good body. Yeah.
Let the dog satisfy his curiosity. Once the dog satisfies his curiosity, then if you went up and the dog still ain't found nothing, give him ample time, like what you did with going around that Jeep. Give him ample time. He went around. You could see that he went all the way around the Jeep, poking that nose up high. So that should go ahead and spark it right in your head and say, okay, hey, he doesn't normally do this. This isn't natural for this dog.
One of the main jobs that military dogs have to do is checking for drugs and explosives in luggage at airports, one of the biggest fears that travelers have at the moment. It's a tricky procedure, so at first, the handlers do it dog-free. Then it's for real, and they have to be able to walk backwards, holding the dog in their left hand, making sure they're sniffing the whole case, and learn 2 different search patterns. This is much more difficult than it looks, and there are real drugs to find. Keeping the dogs motivated in the Texan heat is key. Paul is still trying to get the hang of it with Tomba.
If I come up and I run you every day, and then I get done running you, and I walk up to you and I go like this. And I hand you a Jolly Rancher and I walk off. It don't mean much, does it? What if I come up to you and I hand you a Jolly Rancher and I say, hey man, good job, way to run, hey, push it out, good heart, good to go. Hey, that's the way to push it out. It means something.
Here in Block 2, training isn't only restricted to humans. Across the base, experienced handlers are teaching the newest canine recruits in bomb detection. Andy is one of the dogs just beginning his military career. First he gets his personal number tattooed, and then he's off to work. The day begins in this specially made, air-conditioned dog trailer. Only 2 out of every 10 dogs that try to get into the forces gets through, and Andy had shown a lot of promising behavior. But will it continue? He's going to be trained in explosives, and is starting with just 1 hidden under the car. He hasn't had a single day's training, but within 5 weeks, his handler, Sergeant Fuller, hopes to have trained Andy to locate 7 different kinds of bomb materials. Also starting training today is Mocus. She's an absolute beginner too.
One of our main missions with our dogs is to search vehicles coming into and exiting base installations. And this is the stepping stone to be able to take these dogs and put them out into the other bases around the world where they'll be able to search the vehicles. And they have to have a real good hunt drive and search drive to want to work for that reward. And everything is kept positive, and every time the dog does a positive response, he's rewarded on a continuous basis.
Good girl.
Both dogs will be trained every day, but there's no guarantee that they'll make the grade. Week 2, and the handlers are about to take their first step in aircraft training. These old, out-of-commission planes aren't quite as expensive, and the passengers not quite as important as some found at the Air Force's top base, Andrews Air Force Base. Since 1961, it's been home to the official presidential fleet of planes, Air Force One. All the dogs and handlers here started their training at Lackland. But to become one of Mr. President's canines, the team has to train even more. And they do this right in the middle of the base.
When they get trained at Lackland, they do like an initial certification, if you think about it like a child going through grade school, and then he graduates on to like a high school type atmosphere. That's what we are here at Andrews. In the explosives detection aspect, we do a lot of planes. This is the home of Air Force One. My dog, his average range is between 70 and 75 pounds. For a German Shepherd, that tends to be kind of light, and the Air Force likes them that way because it allows them access to more places. When you do have to search an aircraft, it is in tight quarters in there.
Every time the president or a VIP is about to use the plane, the dog team moves in. They're looking for explosives, and the president goes nowhere without a military dog clearing the way. Teamwork is essential, and often the handlers will be partnered for a couple of years or even more.
Jader is the most exciting dog I've had. He's a character on his own, and I wouldn't trade him for the world.
It's a long, arduous road before anyone can protect the man donned the most powerful in the world. And it all starts back here in Lackland. There's many years of work before any of them make it onto the president's plane. But with the top training they're getting, they could soon be part of America's elite security forces. First, a few lessons on leash control and trusting your dog.
This is your initial introduction to an aircraft problem. Your objective today is to go in, locate all narcotic training aids. Once your dog finds them, have your dog final respond, pay your dog. I'll give you directions as we go as to how you're going to handle it and so on.
The training starts in the freight area, where the dog would be looking around luggage in a real airport. But today, it's the basics, and trying not to let the dog get away from them. The seat section is next. An awkward area, but airplane security has never been more crucial, so this is an essential part of the course.
Stay.
The students are making progress, but each dog has its quirks, and Amoruso's is no different.
Well, my dog is a chocolate lab named Boris. He seems to be doing real good here. He gets the odors, he recognizes them. Just a couple minor problems that we got to work out. Try to get him to want to seek high. He does like to be independent in the planes also. He'll go in and out of each row and just basically try to do it himself, but you know, I still need him to search where I need him to search.
To make sure they continue training hard, Lackland's loyal kennel staff work 24 hours, 7 days a week to keep the dogs in top condition. In charge of this is Tech Sergeant Capinas.
On average, we have about 500 dogs that we have here. That's dogs that are in training, dogs that are on ship hold, and dogs that we're looking at the consignment process to see if we want to purchase them or not. We have 73 personnel who pretty much work round the clock.
Each dog has its own bowl marked with its kennel location and has a specific diet depending on its health and training regime. It doesn't take long to realize that Lackland gets through a lot of dog food, well over 255,000 pounds every year. To decide on how much and what sort of food the dogs get, the vet department checks every single dog on the base once a month. That's about 450 dogs, but sometimes it's as many as 700.
Yesterday we saw 172.
Basically what we're just looking at is making sure that they're at their ideal weight, and then we're also getting their top spot and their heart guard medicine. You know, if we can control the ticks and the fleas, then we don't have to worry about those diseases that are carried by those insects.
Lackland recruits don't all come from outside vendors. They recently started their own military dog breeding program. In fact, they've already reared 46 puppies from 7 litters. Like all the puppies at 2 months old, Rocky and his brother Randy are about to leave Lackland and spend their first year with a local family. Rather than train the dog, teach him to sit and lie down, the foster family's main job is to rear a confident, well-adjusted, outgoing young adult dog. Rocky is leaving today. He'll have a checkup first, and then he's off.
Hey Scott, how's kiddo today?
He's fine. Most of the families in San Antonio found out through an article in San Antonio Express News that was printed right after we opened our whelping facility. And we had just a flood of calls from all families that wanted to both do patriotic duty as well as great love for pets. I don't know that there's any particular ideal family because each family has different things to offer. Some families are like real active in the community, which means the puppies will go to lots of sporting events and camping trips. Other families may have to offer a home that's busier and more active where the puppies are going to be exposed. The ideal family is a family that can give the puppies a nurturing home and at the same time expose the puppy to a lot of different environments. Also a light amount of obedience, and that they'll do a little bit of retrieving with the puppy as the puppy grows.
Well, everybody, I'd like to introduce you to your new puppy. This is Rocky.
Oh, isn't
How
he
cute is that?
precious?
As the families have the pets, we'll basically go in and monitor the training, see where the puppies are, and make suggestions on a monthly basis as to what we think the puppy should be exposed more to, or whether there should be more retrieving or less retrieving. We will check on the puppies every month, and then we do more extensive behavioral testing every 3 months.
We wanted to help out in the program any way we could, so it's kind of a good deal for us, good deal for them. We can have a puppy for the first year. It's a lot of fun.
They all understand the importance of the work that these dogs are going to do, and that's really, really key to the success. One of our puppy walkers is a 10-year-old boy, and he expresses it very nicely by saying that he is that puppy's kindergarten and first grade teacher, and then the puppy will go on for more education beyond that. So he's looking forward to being that kindergarten and first grade teacher, and when he finishes, he looks forward to his next pupil.
Rocky will be regularly checked by the Lackland staff. Meanwhile, what's happening to our handlers now that it's halfway through their detection training? Week 3, and it's just 2 weeks to go before their final certification exam. The pressure on the students increases as they train in the barracks. The students have to get used to stress, as bomb detecting in the real world is not for the faint-hearted. To do this, Sergeant Russell continually asks routine questions while Church searches.
The reason we ask you questions throughout your training problems is to get you used to having distractors. Because I tell you now, when you get out there and you're doing a bomb threat, you bring this into the real world, you're going out here and doing a bomb threat, you're going to have enough things on your mind that you want to be able to just instinctively work without even having to think about it.
To keep cool under pressure is just one of the things that the U.S. Marine Corps does best. And at Quantico, the dog team is no exception.
Stand up, buckle up, and shuffle through the door. Jump right out and shout, Marine Corps! Jump right out and shout, Marine Corps!
Like no other military base, Quantico has a civilian town of 700 people right in its center. Not only that, it has 11,000 people entering the base every day to work. This is a major security concern, and the dog team have their work cut out. But the Marines pride themselves in their tough training.
Kill him.
Captain Campion and military working dog Black are off to gate duty, where over 8,000 vehicles pass through every day, and any one of them could be a potential bomb threat.
The normal day here starts at about 6:30. Some of the handlers come in at 6:30 and start taking care of the dogs, letting them get out and get breaks and cleaning up their kennel runs and what have you. It's all about dog care here. We love these dogs. This is actually MW Black. Black has been in the service now for almost 8 years, and he's my dog. Santo's the new dog. He's still at the kennel. He's probably the most social dog in the kennel. He loves everybody. Yeah, he does his patrol work proficiently and well, but when the wrap is off and it's time to play, he just loves to play. He's the best. What we're doing now is just a basic vehicle patrol. We'll go ahead and support the road units with the dogs and patrol the base. We'll go ahead and patrol the gates. We'll stop and do some random vehicle searches if necessary. How are you today, sir? So we're going to be conducting a random vehicle inspection. You don't mind if the dog passes by your vehicle? No, that's fine. So what I'm going to have you do is shut off the engine and step out of the vehicle and leave the door open, the driver's door open. Okay. Thank you very much.
Cars can be stopped and checked at random, especially after September 11th. But today is just a training exercise for Black, with a planted aid for him to find. Like his training at Lackland, when he finds something, he gets his reward.
Good boy. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Good boy.
Meanwhile, back at Lackland, the building search training continues, and Church is putting Valdo through his paces. The search pattern is key, and he must present each area to be sniffed, high and low. No areas can be missed, as in a real situation, a mistake would be life-threatening. That's why Sergeant Russell puts on the pressure.
We want to eventually stress them out when they're working these problems. By the time they leave here, there should be no reason why they can't work a good, solid pattern and revert back to that solid pattern while they're thinking about something else. The purpose of it is to ensure that when they go into a high-stress situation, they can always revert back to their initial training. If they revert back to their initial training, they're not going to have any problems of making sure they hit everything productively.
So they need nerves of steel when they leave. In the meantime, Cornegay is still coming to grips with the search pattern.
You're a little inconsistent on throwing your high presentations. Some of the rooms you did your high presentations on the lockers, some of them you just bypassed them and went by. Remember, keep throwing those high presentations in, because that's just going to teach the dog in the future. Dad just made a low presentation, now he's going to give me a high presentation. Overall, not a bad search. Just pick up your pace from time to time.
The only trouble Cornegay has now is getting his toy reward back. Training is also continuing for the new canine recruits. In the warehouse training area, the two beginner bomb dogs, Endy and Mocus, have now had 3 weeks of training. One is going to be a natural. The other is finding it tough going.
Mocus is on average a little bit behind in the game right now. The dog is showing odor recognition, but the dog is also relying on the handler much more than we'd like to see at this point. But we still have good hopes that the dog's going to make it out of here successfully.
Endy, on the other hand, is way ahead.
It was real shaky at first, but once he figured out how the dog wants to work and what motivates him and everything, he came along real quick, and he's progressed very, very far. He's going to actually certify with all the odors. He has to do them all full weight and half weight, and he has to do it in all the areas that we have, the warehouse, the vehicles, luggage, aircraft, barracks.
Standards in the military are very high. So what happens to the dogs that don't make the grade? Not all the dogs make it through the tough military training, and the 341st Squadron has now got an adoption scheme to rehome some of these dogs. However, as some of the dogs have been taught aggressive techniques, they wouldn't all make suitable family pets. To decide which ones can be adopted, the dogs are put through a series of behavioral tests. The Squadron sets up a scenario of two angry neighbors arguing. Some dogs will attack the aggressor. Others, like Tigger, want to avoid this sort of confrontation. Tigger would rather play with her toy on the ground than attack the man. Tigger did do okay and is now enjoying civilian life in San Antonio. It's a big day for Ika. Her adoption tests went well and she has been chosen by Staff Sergeant Rowan.
Since I worked here, I went and looked at the dogs that were available and tried to find a dog that would suit my family's temperament the best. I like Ika's a smaller Malinois. I like that. She's a female, so it'll be easier for my dog at home. And she's a little skittish, but I think she'll grow out of it once she becomes accustomed to our family.
Meet your new family. Come on in. Come on.
Oh, she's skinny.
Come on.
In the past, we wouldn't know what to do. I mean, we would have to euthanize these dogs, and they're beautiful animals. For whatever reason, they just didn't make the cut. In this case, I think this dog got a little skittish. But that in no way means that she won't be a great family pet.
I've seen dogs that had to be put to sleep, and it's always broken my heart. And to have the opportunity to bring it into my home and make it part of my family is really great. So give me the hot dog. Just give me the whole thing.
Forget this peace thing. I just want the hot dog.
Come here.
You know, as long as we have the breeding program in effect, we're going to have dogs we need to find homes for. So yeah, I think the program is going to expand.
Ika isn't the only dog leaving. Every year, 300 or more dogs are sent off on active duty. Before they leave, all dogs have to visit the vet clinic for a full dental and medical checkup. Cinda is being posted and is preparing to go on patrol duty in Pakistan.
Right now we're just doing a routine dental cleaning on the dog. Just before they ship out, we go ahead and we do a full physical exam. And we'll check their weight, their body type, and everything like that. And I believe this guy is shipping out on Thursday or Friday.
Cinda's next step is a general medical by one of the vets. Tech Sergeant Pease, his handler going with him to Pakistan, is not looking forward to this.
Just let us get over the real quick. Easy.
Normally, Cinda is fine, but he really dislikes the vet department.
Don't trust in these teeth are clean. You just had it done. Easy.
Try listening for a heartbeat with that growling going on.
Send it. That's about the best you're gonna get.
But the worst bit is to come for Cinda. His ears need checking.
Relax.
Okay, you get down now.
Easy. It's me. It's okay.
Does he like you actually? We give you
I can do anything to this dog. He just don't like you guys in blue shirts. So he's just not comfortable in here. Maybe he just had a bad experience when he was younger, and we try to make it as pleasurable as possible, but there's really nothing you can do. Well, because it's too hot in San Antonio, they have to ride up with us as a passenger. So As you can see, he's not real friendly with other people, but hopefully we have a good quiet trip. No bumpy rides, no air pockets, we'll be fine. So he rides right upstairs with us. Muzzled at all times, of course. You know, it's a good one.
It's the final week of training for our handlers, and one of the last lessons is in searching plane exteriors. Krirand and Kara are finding it easy to miss some spots. But attention to detail is a must. A miss will be a failure next week.
I prefer for them to come back and hit something they missed than just to miss it completely. So it kind of looks like they're running in circles, but they're actually not. They're hitting the productive areas that they didn't physically see when they were right in front of it.
The students are not the only ones with just days to go before their certification exam. Our trainee bomb dogs have had 4 intensive weeks training, but Mocus is still having problems.
Very, very distracted around in the areas. If there's other dogs, she wants to go see the other dogs. She's coming along, but she's going to take a long time for her to get through the program. I mean, she's off 2 odors now. This is open area seems where she's really distracted. She'll come along though, sooner or later. Girl. I think she has a lot of puppy in her. She wants to play, and that's a main factor of why she's so distracted.
Andy, who started at the same time as Mocus, is doing much better.
Well, Andy will probably be certifying within 2 weeks. He's going to validate next week, and he's up to certification level already. He's a very independent dog. He searches very well. He follows the handler around, and he's got good drive and will search for a long time. He's a very good, strong dog.
Andy will join the other 350 dogs per year that get certified at Lackland before being sent all over the world.
You'll change sides.
It's the day before the certification exam, and Iverson's dog Rico has been rushed to the vets with back problems.
Right up in the middle.
It's the day before certification. During a training exercise, Rico hurt himself and was rushed to the vets.
And then you'll change sides. Okay, Rico. Good boy. That's my boy. That's it. Stay on the table.
Rico just finished running a vehicle problem. I put him up in a very kennel for about 10 minutes. When I pulled him out of the kennel, he yelped real loud, like high pitch a couple times, and immediately wanted to lay down. And his left leg seemed to be having problems when Sergeant Russell examined him and everything, so I brought him in here, just to be sure.
Okay. This is the side that was tender. It could be that it has something to do with the spinal implant. Anytime you have lots of metal or any kind of implant in a patient, you always have to worry about it. To be honest, at least so far in my limited exam, that doesn't seem to hurt. Just walk him up and down on kind of a loose leash. If you want to take the muzzle off, that's okay.
It's a worrying time for Iverson. After training with Rico for so many weeks, they've become a great team, and this could make all the difference for the exam tomorrow. He'll just have to wait and see how Rico is in the morning. After 5 weeks in detection, and before that, 6 weeks in patrol, the big day has arrived. At last, it's the final exam, certification day.
PFC Church, accompanied by military worker Dog Valdo, Bravo 199, reported for building search and enter certification.
Okay, you've already got your main brief outside. The problem starts right here at this door frame, ends at this door frame. Clear everything down this way. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Handle.
Each student and his dog has to locate 3 lots of drugs, which are hidden anywhere in these barracks. They're only allowed 2 mistakes in their search pattern, their dog behavior, or where the drugs are. Amoruso's dog Boris worryingly sits down where there are no drugs. This could fail the handler.
Hey. No. Okay. Now.
He's only got one more chance.
But if you do it all the time, it's like if I sat there and went, hey, 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 hey. After a while, you're going to quit listening to me, right?
The examiner picks up on any mistakes at the end of each test, but this doesn't necessarily mean they've failed. Next in is Cornegay with Tanja.
I guarantee you, if you leave Slack on the leash and go, hup, she'll hup. But you're going, hup. I don't think she needs any help getting up there.
Rico showed no sign of his pain after yesterday's injury. But he makes a big mistake.
Stay.
Rico, on the first round, had missed the drugs in the bedstand.
Move dog over here. Okay, can you tell me why you missed that aid the first time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You did exactly the same thing you did this time. You came in, you cleared the end of the bed. Then you huffed your dog up on the bed. What do we do before we huff a dog on anything? We completely clear it, right? Always clear low before we clear high, okay? Completely clear low. Pressure switch in the bed, dead dog, dead handler, okay?
The results are out. They've done well, with only a few minor mistakes.
Okay, good job. 100% pass rate on your certification. Congrats. Everybody did good. So this is, you're still all turds. You're just more highly polished now. I am very pleased. They all passed. We did a progress check last week in a warehouse, and I got each person and dinged them on a couple different things of their weak areas. It was awesome because everyone took note of the things that I said. When they got in here, every bit of the stuff was fixed.
It was a long journey, but we all finished.
Feels awesome.
Feel great. Lovely, I love it.
Arrival of the distinguished guest.
So, after 11 hard weeks, with some of the toughest training around, our handlers are certified and ready to take up their duties all over the world.
T. Aaron Maruso.
Congratulations. Outstanding.
MA3. Carlton R. Cornegay. Ashley Pangratz.
It has taken strength, patience, and a lot of hard work to get them through this, but they've all made it.
Good boy! Good boy! And take a seat. Yeah. Class, that's it, huh? Dismiss.
It's a proud moment. Time for their course photo, a reminder of their incredible time at the Canine Boot Camp.